Time now to welcome on board the management of DB Corp, Mr. Girish Agarwal, the promoter, director at Dainik Bhaskar newspaper group, is joining us to talk to us about the outlook of that business. Girish, hi, good morning. Thank you so much for making time and speaking with us. Well, I wanted to begin by asking you, the next couple of quarters, usually we see around the election time, there is that increased, advertisement spends that happen that of course comes towards your way as well. Should we expect a very significant jump in your earnings for the next couple of quarters? Because that's been the historic trend.
No, I think that's a myth.
Okay.
Because advertising doesn't flow in because of election. We do get some benefit of certain political advertising in state governments or the central government advertising and talking to their voters through the newspapers about their achievement. But it's not that significant. In fact, I would say because of the code of conduct, the regular advertising of government goes down. So it almost balances out. But yeah, maybe 5-7% growth advantage comes because of that.
5-7% might come on a net basis, but overall for the business, how are things looking up? Because in the 9 months gone by, you've managed to increase your revenue almost to 1,800 crores now.
So I think I proudly can say this is the time where the real journalism, good journalism has really paid off by the readers and also by the advertisers. Because see, in newspaper, what happens? A person picks up a newspaper to read the news. And side by side, you also have the advertising over there. So I think over a period of time, people have realized that they need to look at the credibility of any medium. And I think newspapers have stood pretty strong in that. So that's the reason the benefit of advertising has come back to newspapers big way.
Right. Girish, the other thing I wanted to understand also was newsprint purchase prices. How do you think they are going to trend, say, over the next few quarters?
So see, last year we were almost have seen the peak of around 65,000 rupees per ton, which in the last quarter was around 50,000. And I think going forward, this may go down by another 2 to 5% furthermore. So I think this looks largely under control. But again, it's a commodity, so you really can't sit at peace because of that, assuming that this is done forever. So, but for a couple of quarters, we can be assured of that this is in the range of around 48,000-50,000 rupees per ton.
And give me some color on the overall business. Tell me how print media as a business is shaping up. And of course, digital, which is the next big thing. How is it that you're looking to strengthen your position in the digital landscape?
So in print, I think one very important thing what I saw in the last quarter that almost every possible category grew. Automobile, government, classifieds, FMCG, real estate, jewelry, every possible category saw a growth in the last quarter. So I think that's very heartening and looks like that most of the categories are back in the market. And also we had election in 3 of our states. So because of that, the government was also spending money in the market. And based on that, the consumer income went up and all. So I think that all advantage we saw. And I think looking at the overall trend of India, that should continue going forward also for a few quarters at least. And coming to digital, as you mentioned, I think print is going strong, and so digital is also going strong side by side in terms of number of people coming onto our app, and the time spent on the app is pretty strong. As you know, we have almost around 14-15 million users on our app on a monthly basis.
That's the kind of footfalls, etc., that you're seeing on the digital side of things. But you have a decent amount of cash balance on your books, Girish, almost 800-900 odd crores. What's the plan to utilize it? Are you looking at probably making some capex and investments?
Our business doesn't need much of capex because most of the investment is already being made. Maybe it will require another 50, 40, 60 crore rupees at the most. I don't think big capex is required. So I think this large money what we are sitting on will go as a dividend to the shareholders going forward.
Right. Girish, the one eye-popping thing is that you're sitting on 825 crore rupees worth of cash and zero debt. I'm curious to understand how is it that you're looking to utilize this sum?
As I mentioned to you, that this cash is in the books. And I think the board will take a call based on that. Our earlier dividend policy has been very strong. So I think on the same policy will continue, going forward. But company doesn't need cash for any kind of acquisition. We are not looking at any acquisition as of now. We are not looking for major expansion because company already has printing setup at almost 60 places. 12 states are covered. So I don't think we need a large capex on that.
Any plans to you don't have any plans to monetize your digital app, is it?
See, that is the ultimate goal, and we all are working towards it. And consumer also knows it, because consumer knows that. But before that, you got to have minimum threshold level of consumer with you and their confidence and their time. So I think we are investing right now more on that. And whenever the opportune time comes, we'll certainly go to our readers and just start paying for it. And we've been experimenting a bit, so we are getting good results on that.
Say opportune time, what is the benchmark do you have in mind? Is it number of subscribers? Is there any other metric that you have in your mind?
I would love to tell you all this, but unfortunately, our board has said that we need not to communicate anything in the market so far. At the time when board decides, we'll certainly let all of you know about it.
More information on it, because that's, of course, the street is watching for when you monetize, how you monetize, and that directly will flow into your bottom line as well. But talking about bottom line, your margins have, as it is, improved quite materially. 25.5% this in the 9 months gone by versus 15% last year. What's the trend going forward for margins? Do you think this entire push towards profitability is just going to gain momentum?
See, in the best of our time, we went up to almost 30% of the margin. So if we are at 25%, I believe we still have headroom to improve on the margin. It depends on the newsprint cost. And if the newsprint cost is softening down, I think that advantage will come. Because see, in our business, almost 50% cost is newsprint. Now, if that cost goes down by even 5%, that straight away comes down to the bottom line. Because my manpower cost is there around 18-20%. Even if we give an increment of around 8-10%, so that doesn't swell up much. And other costs are almost stagnant. So I think newsprint is the one which plays an important role in increasing and decreasing the bottom line.
Right. Okay. Great to have you on the show, Girish. Thanks so much for taking the time out and speaking with us today.
Pleasure. Thank you. Good day.
Okay.